Gets it to the side of Irving, who was on his right side, but you're so afraid to foul there. He ties the game. Durant could have won. It looked like that brushed the backboard and misses. So we go to double overtime, and it was all Sexton in the double overtime. Kid had a monster game. 16 of 29 from the floor. 5 of 11 from 3. He had 42 points in 38 minutes. The big three go down. Malika Andrews reports.
John, this isn't the end result that the Brooklyn Nets wanted. Steve Nash said after the game that at times the group looked, quote, a little lost, but he said that that was natural because this is the first time that they have played together. So there's a lot of material for them to go over in film sessions tomorrow. But Kyrie Irving seemed genuinely happy to finally be back on the floor with his teammates.
And always playing the game that I love, I'm grateful. So I never take it for granted. And then also to be, playing with Kevin Durant, James Harden, just those names alone right now, just like we're having some fun. But it's not just about us, and I always say that. We'll have good nights, we'll have great nights, but it's how we galvanize this group together and how we sacrifice and compromise for the greater good. And that still remains to be seen. Obviously, one game's out the way, but I'm excited for what's to come.
Now, the Nets still have pieces to fold in here. Kyrie Irving played a career-high 48 minutes and 22 seconds, while Kevin Durant and James Harden both played over 50 minutes, while Landry Shamet, who was brought in to be a key piece of this Nets bench, didn't play at all. But overall, Kevin Durant said it felt right to finally be out there with the two other All-Stars. It felt perfect, he said. It felt like, quote, we belonged out there together.
Tim Legler with us on SportsCenter for a level-headed look at the KD, Kyrie, Harden triumvirate. We're not going to get all panicky because they were not triumphant here, Tim, but we got two parts. So let's start with where are the trouble spots, or kind of what caused the trouble when these three were on the floor?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, John, I think there's just such a reliance on individual shot making that it's a tough way to win on a night-to-night basis, despite the fact that this might be the greatest offensive trio we've ever seen put together. It's still a tough way to go about your business night to night. So when push came to shove in this, if you broke down their offense, you're going to see a whole lot of that. Guys taking turns. And I thought that that's a mistake, because if you just incorporate any sort of ball movement where the ball can change sides of the floor, and a couple of those guys get opportunities to touch it on the same possession once the defense is shifted, I just think it's going to be much easier to operate, and you're going to get more efficient shots. These guys are great enough that they can get back in the game the way they did in the fourth quarter by making shots. But I think they can make it easier on themselves if they can get that ball movement a little bit better, player movement a little bit better. And also, I think Kevin Durant is a guy that in those spots late, when it's a one-possession situation, he has to be involved somehow in the offense. And you saw that he wasn't there at the end of regulation when Harden took that step-back three, and Kevin Durant's just standing there on the wing. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me when you talk about a guy with the stature of Kevin Durant.
All right, so yeah, those they combined for 96 points. That seems like plenty. What is it that you like, and what is it that works with these three cats?
Well, one of the things that obviously works is, first, there's no team in the league that can guarantee at all times you've got one of the best offensive players on the floor for the entire game. So let's just start with that. They always have an elite guy, at least one, most of the time two of those guys out there that you can just create all kinds of problems for defensively. And there were times in this one when you could just see the presence of that second or third superstar, how easy it made the game for guys to get to the rim, for guys to come up and get some early offense for themselves, because there's so much attention that's going to be paid to other parts of the floor. So there are opportunities that they're going to get to take advantage of defenses that are going to be a little more porous than what they saw individually when they were star players on teams, and you could load up on those guys. Much harder to load up when you have that kind of talent on the floor. So I did see some situations like that where the mere presence of those guys helped facilitate individual opportunities.
Real quick, can they guard well enough with those three guys?
No, they're not a very good defensive team. They weren't initially. I don't think their defensive principles are really there yet. And it was really a problem tonight. When DeAndre Jordan's off the floor, this team is so small. They get pounded in the paint. They get pounded on the offensive glass. They gave up 64 points in the paint to this team, and they're not even at full strength. So that is going to be a major problem, John. I don't see this team grinding out wins on nights when their guys don't make shots. Look at tonight, 96 between the three of them, a triple-double for James Harden, and they still lost the game. So they've got to tighten up that end of the floor, take it a little bit more seriously, put themselves in better positions where they don't have to be spectacular down the stretch. That's absolutely the point of emphasis with this team, is to get better defensively and be more accountable to each other.
And we should point out, actually, the Cavaliers played a really nice game as well. Tim Legler, thanks. They get a mulligan. Same two again in Cleveland from Sports Bureau. He's the third player with multiple triple-doubles within his team's first 3 games. Joins Russell Westbrook, who had 3 for the Wizards, each of their first 3. I believe that was loss. And Oscar Robertson had 2 in his first 3 with the Royals. Here are the superstars talking.
Right, felt perfect. Felt like we belong together. Felt like this journey together is gonna be fun. It was a tough first start, and especially it was an up and down game for us. But I like where we are.
Obviously, it would have been great for us to win, and still figure things out. But a loss is still great as well. Especially. It's how you bounce back from the loss. It's learning from your mistakes, learning from the losses, and not making the same mistakes 2 times in a row. So, we got a long way to go, but I think we're in the right direction.
So to be, playing with Kevin Durant, James Harden, just those names alone right now, just like we're having some fun. But it's not just about us, and I always say that. We'll have good nights, we'll have great nights, but it's how we galvanize this group together and how we sacrifice and compromise for the greater good, and that still remains to be seen. Obviously, one game's out the way, but I'm excited for what's to come.
So you don't want to make the same mistakes twice in a row. Well, guess what? They play Cleveland again Friday. Sexton's your man. 15 points in the second overtime. That's tied with Earl Boynton for the second most in a regular season overtime period in NBA history. Only the great Gilbert Arenas had more. Scored 16 in a single OT with the Wizards 2006-2007 season. Still to come, Tim Legler on deck. Talk about the Nets' big 3. What worked? What didn't? Where we got to improve? All that stuff. We're not panicked. At least tonight, anyway. That's ahead on SportsCenter.
All right, Sixers, Celtics. Jason Tatum misses a game for the 3rd straight time. Remember, he tested positive for COVID-19 after the team's trip to Miami. He feels fine. He's working out. He's out of protocol. He'll probably play Friday against the Sixers. Kemba got off to a good start shooting the basketball, and the Celtics got off to a good start. Led 12-4 and then led by 3 at halftime. Walker was 5 of 9 shooting threes. He was terrible shooting twos. 1 of 6. He had 19 points for the C's. But then Joel Embiid, 22 points at the half on 6 of 8 shoot. Remember, he missed the Sixers last game, but he came out dominant. Through 3 quarters, he had 36 points, the most for a Sixer since Iverson in 2006. 4th quarter, Celtics up by 1. Jaylen Brown, fun player to watch. 26 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Celtics lead by 3. Still lead by 3 when Embiid. Monster game for Joel Embiid, 12 of 19 from the floor. Alley-oop goes begging. Marcus Smart all casually lays that up. It's blocked, but Danny Green called for goaltending. Danny Smart had 25. 105. Big bucket there. Danny, Mr. Scholarship winner. He had 12 points. 3-point lead. Embiid, Harris, this was too easy. Harris had 22. Embiid, 42. Milton, 16 off the bench. And the Sixers are winners. Well, again, Embiid, he's playing MVP basketball in this one. 10th career 40-10 game. Tied for 3rd most in Sixers history with Billy C. and trailing only Chuck, who had 13 of them. Wilt Chamberlain, team record, 31. Continue with the NBA. Magic Timberwolves, apex predators that do card tricks. Cole Anthony knocks down the 3. Magic down by 2. Great ending here. 96-94. Minnesota up. Aaron Gordon misses this 3 for the lead, but rebound and a foul. So Jared Vanderbilt shooting 2, misses 1. Looking to put the game away, so misses the first. But that's okay. Just make this one, at least make it a 3-point game. No. Magic back the other way. Anthony for the win! Got it!
Oh, boy.
How's your scissor kick? Cole Anthony. Whee! Pow! Right in the middle. Winner, winner, chicken parm dinner. Orlando wins by 1.